Hiya Toonsters, let's get ready to talk about one of the most awesome and beloved tunes in all the Tooniverse. I'm talking about Lola Bunny. Lola is an amazing and super beloved character, but many people think that her appearance in the original Space Jam film was just a throw-in to pander to a certain audience and that her character was really flat and not fully developed. Most people generally regard the 2010 new Looney Tunes show version of Lola as the perfect, awesome version of Lola where she fully comes to fruition and gets to show herself as a fully developed character and a fully developed Looney Tune. But still, many people remember her appearance from the original Space Jam, and many people love that character. Even though people criticize the original Space Jam Lola as just being this flat character who's really beautiful and really good at sports, some people are really beautiful and really good at sports and have really flat characters in life. So for me, it rang true, and it's okay if you're trying to pander to that audience. Space Jam is already a very commercial production, which literally evolved out of commercials for shoes with Michael Jordan and Bugs Bunny playing basketball. And it's okay, I love the Space Jam film, and I love that character of Lola Bunny. A lot of people seem to be really upset to see minor changes in her character, in her physical appearance between Space Jam 1 and Space Jam 2. But we should keep in mind that tunes always evolve and change over time if we're lucky enough to get to see them again and again. Lola's character is a really new character, and she, unlike Daffy Duck and other characters who evolved over a long period of time, has changed dramatically between each production she's in. Even though I know this is a direct sequel to the old Space Jam, because the first Space Jam was the first ever appearance, kind of like a pilot appearance for Lola, I think it's only natural that we can expect to see changes. Both based on the fact that Warner Brothers is going to take feedback from the audience and the fact that, you know, she just gets to be more developed because this is the second movie. Even though Lola's criticized as not being a very developed character in the original Space Jam, one of the things I love about the original Space Jam is it's not too long. It's short, it's sweet, and you don't need to have that much character development for these tunes necessarily. For me personally, what was really weird and awkward about Space Jam, the original film, was not Lola's presence at all in the film, it was Bugs' reaction to Lola. When Bugs first sees Lola, his eyes light up and bulb in big heart shapes, and his chest throbs, he's tripping over his feet, he's being awkward, and just being a general kind of a Pepe Le Pew, if you pardon the expression, towards her. So Lola has to kind of put him in his place. This was really weird for me and other Toon fans, not just because it's an inappropriate way for Bugs to act and Lola has to literally check him, but because Bugs isn't supposed to be super gaga and attracted to other beautiful girls. Bugs is beautiful girls. And we all know there's really only one group of girls who truly drives Bugs Looney Tunes.
Golden gifts for golden girls.
Golden girls? Why'd you say so? Come on, let's go.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying because Bugs is this genderqueer Jewish rabbit that he can't be attracted to female characters. And I really love in Carrot Blanca when Bugs gets together with Penelope Pussycat, but it definitely doesn't ring true to have him acting like a cartoon wolf from the 30s, leering and panting towards girls and having his chest pounding. It's just not in Bugs' character. It seems like more of a character trope from Animaniacs and the Pepe Le Pew cartoons. And once again, even though Bugs is this super queer character who just expresses himself as, you know, really gay in the classic literature.
Be all a martin or be all a coy rabbit?
Well, my friends say I'm very coy.
Even in the classic tunes, when Bugs is supposed to go on a date with Daisy Lou, he just ends up dressing as Daisy Lou and going on a date with his rival Dude Bro Bunny. So, you know. But once again, I'm not against Bugs having a relationship with Lola, and I love the expression of their relationship in the new Looney Tunes show. Bugs is attracted to Lola in that show, but you know what? he's his true self. He is Bugs again. He's just that fun-loving, genderqueer rabbit who just is so true to himself that he inspires real-world people who aren't toons to be more true to himself. And that's what's so cool about Bugs Bunny, is his unbridled confidence and queerness and joviality, and he's just such an awesome character. Don't mess with that. And this was definitely part of the 90s de-queering of Bugs by Hollywood network executives. The reason that we're able to see a more queer Bugs in the 50s than in Space Jam is because there was less censorship back then, and he was able to be a real awesome icon, not just for queer people, but for all people. Because like I said, he's living his true self and inspiring you to live your true self. But in Space Jam, some network executives, I guess, felt that his character would have more broad appeal if there was like a romantic relationship between him and some other bunny. And like I said, I'm not against the character being attracted to Lola, but just the way he did it was really weird and strikes me as part of the de-queering of Bugs Bunny.
How can I help you reposition your brand identity? Answer, we team you up with a hot female co-star.
Which, before I get off that topic, continues on in another Warner Brothers Hollywood film in which Bugs Bunny is actually literally talking to a Warner Brothers network executive who tells him that now it's the 90s and his cross-dressing or trans expression or whatever is creepy, which is like... That scene really broke my heart, and I know it broke a lot of fans' hearts. I didn't really heal from the trauma of that awful scene, and I know a lot of people really don't like that movie, and I don't hate that movie, but I do hate that scene, and I understand why a lot of people don't like that film. But like I said, I wasn't able to heal from that like emotional trauma until the 2010 Looney Tunes show, which, as I'm sure you can tell by now, I totally love that show. And in that show, when Daffy or Bugs are wearing women's clothes or expressing their identities or whatever, and someone questions that, they never have this weird defensive answer, and they always say something wonderful like, I just feel comfortable this way. The show is so bang on.
Address? Date of birth? Who has that stuff memorized? I didn't know what to put for gender.
And yes, when Bugs puts on a dress and a wig, it is so hilarious in the new Looney Tunes show, but it's not because he puts on a dress and a wig, it's because his characters are hilarious, and I just think that show is so spot on. It brings the Looney Tunes back for me in such a big way. I'm a big fan of that show. I wish it could have continued on for a third season and more. Literature did not appear transphobic, even though there were characters who were weird to Bugs, like Speedy Gonzales and stuff, but it was addressed appropriately within the literature. So I know a lot of Toonsters out there are disturbed to see even minor changes in Lola's appearance going forward to Space Jam: The New Legacy, but I want to say I love this render of Lola, and I think that she still is really beautiful and really awesome, and I don't know why people are looking at her and saying like, oh, she's less sexy, she's less busty. Maybe she, you know, was wearing a padded bra in the first film, or, you know, maybe we should just like respect the evolving nature of Toons and respect people's body types, including Lola. I thought she looks so cool. I mean, you know she looks cool. Oh, look, she's coming to hug you. She's winking at you. Come on. You can't resist Lola. You love Lola. Let's give this Lola and all the Toons a chance in Space Jam: A New Legacy before we watch the literature, you know? Like, let's actually give them a chance and check out the movie before we cast our doubts about how much we're gonna love it. Really looking forward to this production, and I'm really getting pumped up for the Tiny Toons reboot. Thanks so much for watching this Toon discussion. Be sure to check out my other discussions and nerdy action videos. Lots of love. That's all.